Were you watching TV yesterday on January 6, 2021, and like a lot of people wondering, is what I'm watching a federal crime? Is a riot a federal crime? Hi folks, this is Paul Padda with the Federal Defenders. Like many of you, I was watching the events on January 6, 2021, those bizarre and frankly horrific scenes of people storming our Capitol. You know, it's one thing to protest, that's completely within people's constitutional rights, and I support that 100%. But what we saw yesterday was something very different. It was, as many people said, an insurrection. People took it another step. They invaded our Capitol and went inside and desecrated the Capitol. This is a building with over 200 and some years of amazing history. This is a place where the laws of this nation get made and have been made. This is a place with so much history, where so many iconic figures have walked through those halls. The idea that people would be climbing on top of statues, putting hats on statues, taking selfies, sitting there in the US House of Representatives or the Senate with their feet up on the desks, thinking it's all a big joke. It was really shocking. I never thought I would ever see something like that happen in the United States of America, but it did. And I think it shocked the nation's conscience, and it shook, I think, a lot of politicians who, you know, we live in a time when there's been so much heated rhetoric on all sides, and people have, I think, as a result of watching what they saw on TV yesterday, taken a step back and said, hold on a second, we're at risk of losing our nation. What we saw was just unacceptable. That was a bridge too far. Many of you might be wondering, you know, what you saw, is that actually a federal crime? Is rioting a federal crime? Is inciting a riot a federal crime? And the answer to that question is yes. Under 18 U.S.C. sections 2101 and 2102, inciting a riot is a crime. Rioting is a federal crime. A person that travels interstate from one place to another and engages in a riot can be charged with a federal crime. Those who encourage people to do that also can be charged with a federal crime. And so the question that gets asked today, the day after seeing that riot in our nation's capital, is, can politicians who've encouraged people to engage in that behavior be charged federally? The answer to that question is yes. It all depends on the facts. A prosecutor would have to look at, you know, the statements that were made by various people. Would a reasonable person hearing those statements be led to believe that this was conduct that was being sanctioned and encouraged? And especially if it's coming from leaders, people who are in positions of authority, governmental authority, to tell people or make people believe that they could go and do this, those people could be held liable. And it really depends on what the federal government will do. As we have a transition government coming in, our new government will have a new attorney general soon. And so it'll be a political question of whether the attorney general will prosecute those people. But it's also going to be a pure legal question, is whether the facts can support such a case. But to answer the question that's on the minds of a lot of people, yes, rioting is a federal crime, and inciting someone to engage in a riot is also a federal crime. This is Paul Padda at the Federal Defenders, where our motto is, a good defense is no accident. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the content, you like the information, if you like staying on top of the latest legal developments and current events and news of that kind, please subscribe to our channel. Please check out our other channels at Paul Padda Law and also the Vegas Lawyers, all part of the same family here. And also click the bell below to stay updated and get the latest notifications.